Okay, so I was saying that this is the fundamentals of Microsoft Excel class from Havron, and it is divided into 4 different modules. The course will last for 4 weeks, 4 Saturdays exactly, and each module is for each week. We have designed the modules to take us gradually from the basics of Excel through intermediary and then launching us into what we see as a bit of advanced functionalities of Excel, which we will know it should equip us to handle greater tasks in Excel. So the first module is Excel basics. The next one is advanced formulas and functions. The third one is advanced formulas and, sorry, what is that? 1, this is 2. Actually, 3 is database tutorials. I think that's a repetition. And then 4, we have further Excel functions. I think, let me expunge this one. That is up to this point, I guess so. What really happened here? Let me see. Okay, I think module 1 was repeated twice. Okay, so we don't need this, so let's expunge it. All right, so basic 1 is the Excel basics. Number 2, advanced formulas and functions. Number 3, database tutorials. And then number 4, further Excel functions. Now, even though it sounds very, very basic, but they are beyond what we see in basic Excel. What we are presenting here is a product of several studies that we had taken from different institutions and skills acquired from experience using Excel. And then we'll be looking at how the cell properties affect the way we use them. Understanding the basic properties of a cell will help us to interact and use them, apply them to what we do. Then we see how we'll be able to format the cells, modify the columns, rows, and the cells. We look at the viewing options and page layout. Actually, when I started using Excel way back in early 2000, I found out that I destroyed so much ink, wasted inks and papers when I tried to print from Excel. I would discover that what I wanted to print isn't what I was printing, it would become useless. So I didn't know there are things I needed to understand in Excel so that I will print exactly what I wanted. And then we'll be able to see how we can work with the properties of worksheets, how we can tap into their properties and then do a lot of things. For people like us that we manage several facilities, at a point, you may be looking at facilities over 100, up to 200 and something, and then you need to do the same thing across all the sheets. With the understanding of the worksheet basic, we'll be able to see how we can, just 1 click or 2, we're able to do a lot of things that would have taken us hours to achieve. So actually, what we have embedded in this curriculum is something that will help you improve your efficiency over 200%. Because if it can take you 1 hour to do something very fine and you are happy with it, and then we are now telling you that with that task that you can do under 1 hour, that you can actually achieve it in less than 10 or 5 minutes. You will agree that it's quite even more than 200% increase. So we'll be looking also at advanced formulas. We'll begin with the basics of formulas, simple formulas. We'll look at relative and absolute cell referencing. We'll look at simple formulas. We'll graduate to complex formula, and we'll begin to look at inbuilt functions. Some of the mathematical functions that we'll be looking at are this aggregate function, and so on and so forth, as you can see on the screen. We'll also go into how we can use Excel to manage our database. And so using that, we'll now look at charts, filtering options, both simple and advanced, sorting data, simple and advanced, conditional formatting. Then we will introduce pivot table. And I think at this point, we'll also introduce, let me see, let's say range table and pivot table. Sorry, this is range. So we'll look at range, data we present in range, data in range, let me say data in range, then look at tables, and then look at pivot tables. Here we are going to explain that what we really see or what we commonly use in Excel is not really table. And they will now teach us the different tables and pivot table, and then we extract the benefits of tables. Then we'll look at what if analysis. This may not really apply very well, but we'll just introduce it, and then you see how we can apply it in our respective job descriptions and roles. Then we'll look at data validation. In this data validation, we'll know how to create drop-down lists in Excel, how we can make a dynamic drop-down list. Okay, and here, I think it's important for me to also mention that under data validation, we'll also look at data cleanup, data cleaning, and there are other things that we'll discuss there. So I just wanted, this will give me a cue when we get to that point. And then we will now delve into further Excel functions. Here, this is the last topic for that, for the last module for the course. We'll be looking at logical functions. In the logical functions, we are telling Excel to consider some parameters and let Excel do the work for us. You know, if function, and function, or function, if error, if not, if NA function, and so on and so forth. We'll identify others that we can add to the list based on what we do. And then we'll look at statistical functions. These are all the things we'll be looking at, see how they apply to what we do. Then lookup reference, lookup and reference functions, indirect, HLOOKUP, transpose, VLOOKUP. And then if there are other key ones, we'll be able to bring them out. And then finally, we'll look at text functions, how we can bring the values of 2 cells or 3 cells or several cells together to form a sentence. Or we have a particular content in a cell, we need to split them to go into different columns. And then we'll look at some of these other functions. Some years back also, in my years of Excel usage, I had a task of changing some write-ups. They are all capitals. I didn't want all of them to be capitals. I wanted some to be small capitals. I wanted some to be beginning of a sentence and so on and so forth. I couldn't do it. As at that time, either I copy them, put them in Word, transfer them immediately, and transfer back again. I didn't know there were ways. Okay, so when I began to study Excel, I discovered there are different ways. So this is how we are going to, these are the things we are going to cover. Then the course is going to run in this way. We will record our topics. Sometimes we will send them ahead. For instance, in the next week, we are likely going to make some videos and send them ahead so that participants will view them, practice, and come prepared or come with questions. So when we meet on Saturday, we'll be able to discuss gray areas. If there are areas where people did not understand, we can clarify those areas. And then we'll now treat a new topic for the day, and then we'll make the video again and send. So that's how it will be running. And I just also want to let us know that this course is actually supposed to be in the morning. So it was a mistake we made, and there are some people who missed out some courses, the courses we were actually supposed to hold now. So we had it in the morning because of that error. So we are correcting that error. From next Saturday, it's going to be in the morning, please. It's going to be in the morning, 10 o'clock to 12. And then the data visualization will take place in the afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to reflect that in the schedule. All right, so we may have to send another login details if it is required, but when I go back to the back end, do the changes if it is necessary, will let us know. So this is all that we have as per course outline. So what we want to do now in the next, we use 5 minutes to get our students' expectations. So you will tell us what your expectations are. Jennifer is going to moderate this. So we have our chat box. You can type in your expectations, because that will also lead us. If your expectations is beyond this course, we'll let you know. If it is not, we'll do our best to make sure that before the course comes to an end, we will be able to meet your expectations. So, Jennifer, over.
All right, thank you so much, Samson, for that. So, as he said, please everyone enter your expectations into the chat box. It could be from you want to learn Excel and you want to understand it better, or if you want to learn how to do pivot tables, you can write that. So anything you expect to learn at the end of this course, kindly enter it into a text box. Hi, Samson. Like, nobody has posted in the chat box yet.
No one has posted, right?
Nobody has posted, yeah.
Okay, somebody just posted privately.
Okay, maybe to you. I can't see them.
Yes. Okay, so it says that my expectation is to have an in-depth knowledge of Excel.
All right, so Halima says, I want to learn more about data analysis, plotting of charts, etc.
Okay, let me get that. Okay, I think those are the only two, right?
Yes, so far.
Okay, so we will encourage, as we know that as we continue, more may still come up with expectations. So we will encourage every one of us to, at least coming here, there is really something you are looking forward to achieving. So from my side, facilitators would want, we also have our own expectations from participants, and that is when there is a assignment given, like maybe view ahead. If there is a view ahead video, please, it will do us good to go ahead and view them, and if there are assignments, to go ahead and do the assignments, because those are also the motivation that we as facilitators have. Then let me also let us know that the advantage you have registering for this course is that going forward, for instance, this is a September batch. When October batch comes in, you are free to register and participate free. You will not have to pay. You just a refresher training. So we want everyone to enjoy that. I don't know if there are any other training sessions that offer this. We feel our participants should have this privilege. That is one. Then two, that particular one, we call it a roving participation. So you become a roving participant. Keep it going on, keep on learning. You may miss one or two sessions. So once you register in the next batch, you'll be able to fill in the gaps, or you refresh yourself again at no cost. The number two is that for that to happen, for you to have opportunity in the next batch, that means the next batch should hold. And we can only hold the next batch if we have participants who have enrolled, new participants who have enrolled. So participants who are currently in this batch now, we expect you to refer the course. You know, when you tell somebody, I've taken this course, I know what this course contains, it will be of benefit to you. It will sound better to people than, I heard there is a course going on, you can also benefit from it. So when you tell the story of what you have experienced, it makes more impact. So we also have another scheme, we call it share and smile. You know, when you share this, you are making people to come and participate in what you know is good. Number two, you're also planning for your own future refresher course, because once people register, you are going to participate free. So you will be smiling. And apart from that, you will earn 20% of the registration that your referrals are going to pay. So you will register for that share and smile to get your unique referral ID. With that referral ID, you put it in the post that you'll be sharing with people to register. So as the people are registering, they are typing in your referral code there, so that when they make payment, your name, your referral ID will be there, telling us, okay, this is the effort coming from this participant. And then we'll be able to let you know that, yes, you have some money to collect. So these are the things we have done just to let people have opportunity to keep learning and keep learning, and until their skills are up. All right, so those are the things I needed to let us know. Now, looking at this, understanding cell basics. So I'm going to come to this. I'm going to describe the cell basics here. When you open an Excel, it most often time will come with an empty sheet like this, and then with options of inserting more sheets. Now, there are some things about this cell. The spreadsheet, for instance, has this up here. This is the ribbon. We can collapse these ribbons. We can make them hide. There are different ways to do a thing in Excel, but you will choose the one that is most suitable and most convenient. There is hardly anything you do in Excel that has only one option. There are several options to achieve them. So up here is the ribbon, and each here of these things you have is a command, or it has these menus with this command. Each one has its own sub menus. For instance, here takes you to the backstage. It takes you to the backstage where you can do other things that you'll eventually see inside. I'm escaping back. Now, under the home here, when you click home, you see that home is highlighted. All these options, these are the various tools. You have the clipboard, you have the font, you have alignment, and so on and so forth. You click insert, new set of tools appear. You click here. For each of them, whatever you need to do, the tools to do them are embedded inside each of these tabs. Now, if I want to get more space, I can hide this ribbon by simply double-clicking any of these tools, and they have hidden. Sometimes you may not know that this is collapsible, and you want to do something, you don't really know where the thing is. You are looking for it, you are looking for it. So all you needed to do is to double-click any of these, and then it comes back. Now, double-clicking it is either you hide it permanently or you reveal it permanently. Otherwise, you can simply also come and, where is the place? You can, where is, okay, here, ribbon display. You click this. You can auto hide it, or you can show it. So let's see the options one after the other. This is all gone. I know maybe sometime you may have experienced this. You are wondering, you need to do something. So come over to this dotted line, you see other options, or you click this and it opens up. This is auto hide that we just clicked. So we will click this. Part of it is showing, but not completely. So we click here. Then we are now showing the tabs and the commands. Like I said, these are the tabs, and each of these other ones are the other tools and the commands. All right, so in each sheet like this, we have these columns. The columns are labeled A, B, C alphabetically. I don't know if anybody has taken time to find out the end. We can actually look at the end. I'm holding my control button, I'm hitting the end button. It has brought me to the very last end. So this is XFT, the very last column in Excel. Control home brings me back to the home button. So if I want to find out how many columns there are, what I'm going to do now will also help us when we are dealing with small range like this. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to hold down my control. I'm going to hold down my shift button at the same time. I am hitting the end button. What I have simply done is I have selected the entire column from here to the very last end that we showed. So I'm going to type 1. You see, I've typed 1 here. I see 1 here, or anything you want to type. It may not necessarily be number. Let me say I am typing A. I am going to hold down my control button. I am going to enter. I have displayed all this to the very last end. And then when I look down here under my what's it called? My sheet here. This thing is, so let me hide this control panel. Okay. So you see here, I can see, I don't know if you can see it, is 16,384 is a count. Is a count. So what this has done is it has counted how many A's, and each A is in a column. So we've been able to find out that there are 16,384 columns in each site, in each worksheet. So I'm going to delete. Now, what about the rows? These are the rows, and each row has a number. Remember I said each column is represented by letters, and then each rows are represented by numbers. If we want to know how many rows in a sheet, I guess some of us may already know it by doing the same thing that we did. So first of all, let's go down to see the very last cell, the very last row. So I'm holding down my control and I'm hitting down my downward arrow, the very last one. It brings me to the very last one here, which is this. You see, I'm trying to click here. I can't because it doesn't have the cells. So you see that this is 10 million. Is it 10 million? Or is it 1 million? 104. Okay, I think this 1,048,000. Okay, yes, 1,048,576 rows. So I'm going back upward again, control, upward arrow. Now, we don't really need to get to do the other one we did here because we know how many cells they are now. Now, you will see that each cell, this spreadsheet is divided into these smaller rectangles. Each of these rectangles is a cell. Each of them is a cell. And each cell has an address. The address is defined by the intersection of that cell between the row and the column. Say, for instance, here, let me color this. Let me add this. Let me use yellow, for instance. I have yellow here. The cell address here of this, where this yellow is I7. As you can see, this is column I and row 7. And then if I click here, going over to this point here, this is name box. You will see the address of the cell is here. If I click here, this is F7. F7 is here. So it's always good. There are times you may be working and somebody will tell you, please go to cell M3. Just come to M, and this is 3 here. And then you can do something you want to do. Now, these cells, they can be modified. If you want to modify this cell, remember that there are two components of this cell. There is the role component, there is the role component and the column component of each cell. So if you want to, let's take this for instance. We are going to do a lot of demonstration with this cell now. Now, if this is, I hope it's clear. Let me zoom in so that it will be a bit bigger. If I want to modify this cell, I might decide I want to modify the length. So I'm increasing the length of the column. So I can come here. Once my cursor begins to point left and right, at the top, at the header here, you can click, hold, and drag it either to the right or to the left. Now, I may also do the same thing. I want to increase the height of the cell. So I come over here, do the same thing. Once my cursor is pointing up and left, up and down, I can click, hold, and drag up or down. Now, this is how to manually modify your rows or your column. Now, if I have a content here, let's say this is a sentence. Now, I have typed this. Havron is holding a class now, but this is exceeding here. It is over here. And the reason why you can even see it overflowing here is because what we have here is not, it's overflowing. It is overflowing. But the moment we apply this alignment here and we tell it to wrap it, which means we are telling it the cell should wrap the content. It should hold it. It should not allow it to overflow to the next cell. So when we apply this, it's holding it now. It's no longer moving beyond this cell. It's holding it. So when we release it, it can go. Now, assuming I have another text here now, say, today is not Sunday. Now you will see that even though this is overflowing, but because there is another text here, is holding this forth from moving forward. Now, let me also type another statement here. Okay, now, so here there is a syntax that is overflowing up to several other text here, cells here. Now, if you are working with Excel and you have this kind of text embedded, there is nothing here. You see, it's only here, but this one overflow to this side. Now, there is what you can do. Let me put here. So we have a content here. We have here. We have here. We don't have here. But let me just put a name here. Very, very short. James. It has shortened this, but there is a content here. Now, things that most people will do is they will manually hold this like this and then bring it back here. Then do this one. Bring it back here. Bring this one, this one. It hasn't finished. It hasn't finished. You keep doing it until it opens up. It hasn't still opened. Okay, so it has opened here. You will agree with me, this is taking time. Now, let me undo I'm Control Z now. Let me undo the manual column adjustment. I can do all this thing by 2 clicks. Now, rather than if assuming there are 10 of things here, you are opening here, dragging and dragging, you could simply come here, highlight all these points. That is one operation. Double click. Everything here has adjusted automatically to fit the content of each cell. So if I have a data base with several columns that I need to automatically adjust so that each cell, each column will contain its content. All I need to do is just come over here and double click and it will fit. So I'm going to undo that. We are back to this point. Now, assuming you want to create a template where you want all the columns to be the same, of the same size. Now, for each column, you can come over here and say, this is my format. This is my column width. I need to set it. Let's say I need it to be at 15. I've done this. I can also come here. I can also do this individually. I can hold all of them together. Let's say I want all of them to be 15. I come over here, column, just type my 15, enter. All of them are the same column dimension. Another way you can do this is, now, let me just tick this. So I want to do something that I will also discuss in the future, in this course. I can hold this, as I have done like this, drag it here. This is also movement, or you're copying, or you're cutting and pasting, rather than Control C or Control X, and then Control V, just picking them by the side of the selection and then dropping them here. Now, the other thing I wanted to do so that you can have uniform numbering, uniform size is, assuming this is where you have your numbers. Say you have 10, this, you have this, you have, just using this, and you want them to be the same size. Now, I have selected the entire columns bearing my number. Now, if I come here, and I click and drag, see, I'm dragging only one cell. But then, because my F, G, and H were selected, the moment I drop it, this column size for F will be applicable to the rest when I release the button like this. So this cell, this column and this column and this one, they are of the same dimension. Okay, so if you look at what we describe here, this is smartly formatting your cells and smartly modifying your columns, your rows, and your cells. So these are the things that we are handling at the same time right now. All right, so let me go back to this cell basic. The same thing you are doing on the columns, you can also do it on your cells. So you can double click. If I want to use this as my row height, I release it, the same thing applicable to those other ones that I selected. Let me undo this. Now, let's look at formatting the cell itself. What we have just done is to modify the height of the columns, the sizes of the columns, and the rows. But now, let's all describe the cell itself. In this cell that we see, let's say we are using, let me use something else here now. In this cell now, this cell can contain either numbers, text, functions, formulas, dates. Okay? Now, when you understand the basics or the properties of cell, you're able to know by looking whether this is a text or a number. For instance, now, let me write 100 or 1000. You see, I typed Havron, and the alignment is towards the left. And I type 1000, the alignment is by the right. These are irrespective of the alignment you apply here. These are custom alignments. So if here, I come here and I say, okay, I don't want this. I want it to be on the right. I am forcing it to be there. And the moment you click here, you will see that this is highlighted, that it is forced. The same thing with this. This is number. You don't see anything here. So by default, numbers are aligned towards the right. But I can force it to come to the left. Now here, you look at this point. You will see that, yes, this is forced. So if I see something like this, but it's towards the left, towards the left, and there is nothing like here, nothing showing that it was first, it will tell me it's a text, that this cell here, even though it's looking like a number, is formatted as text. Now I can format this as text by coming to here and clicking this, bringing it to text. You see that here now is text. It is not first here. So when I look at this point, I will definitely know that this is a text and not number, even though it's looking like a number. We'll say, what is this? This is 1000. But Excel is now made to see it as a text because I have come here and I've applied a kind of formatting. So these are the things that you need to know in Excel, that, oh, this thing is not a number per se, even though it is showing me as a number. Again, the next thing we need to notice is inside a cell, there are two parameters in a cell. There is the real content, and then there is the field, the space in the cell. Now, inside this cell now is this thing that we have seen now, 1000. That is a kind of fillable content. Now, when I apply this color like this, you will notice that this color did not affect this font, these characters inside here. So that means this thing is just on the face of it. It's on the face of the cell. It's not affecting the content inside. So I may decide to cover the cell with darker, let's say darker color. This color is not affecting the number or the character inside the cell. The cell here is still containing that 1000 or 1000. So we can change the color of this here. That means we're actually changing the color of the content. Okay, so I just needed us to understand that a cell has a space inside it that can be filled by things which may not affect the real content of the cell. Now, let me give us one example now. If I have these numbers, for instance now, here, I'm going to type this equals, a summation. When I click here, see the real content. This is the real content of the cell. But this is what is showing, is displaying now. This is displaying 35, but the real content of the cell is a formula, which is summing this and. Okay, so that means a cell can have something inside it and something different. That is a facade. It's showing something different from what is real inside. Okay, so when you understand this, you'll be able to know where to manipulate the things you are working with. For instance now, if you want to display this 35 that we have there, and you say, okay, let's say I say, what is the value of the sum of F5 and F6. So this is my question now. You say, it's just here now, just come and pick this. See what's going to happen. I am copying this. Maybe in my mind now, I am copying 35. So when I come here and place it, it's 0. The reason is that you are not copying this 35 because 35 is not what is inside the cell. What is inside the cell is this formula which you have copied. So by the time you double click here, it's telling you that you copied a formula, and that formula is making reference to this point. Now, what I have copied here is a cell referencing, relative cell referencing. We'll discuss that later to know the different types of referencing in Excel. Okay, so it's just to tell us that what Excel has as its content is different from what we may be seeing. All right, so now I can apply some level of formatting here. I will just discuss in the next 10 minutes so that we'll ask some questions. So I want to do some formatting here. Like I said previously, there are two things here. There is the content and there is the outside or the space of the cell. Now let's change this, the font now. I've changed the font, the character. I've changed it. Now I want us to look at the things we are doing. Or rather, let me start from the beginning and then count some things. There are things I want to let us tune down. So here, I am going to write 1,000. Remember that this 1,000 is a number now. It has come to the right automatically. So here, the first thing I'm going to do some formatting and see how we can copy those formatting. Now I'm going to change this. The font has changed. That is number one. Number one thing I have done there is I changed the color of the font. Number two, I am making it bold. Number three, I am centralizing it. Number four, I am filling it. Is that number four? Okay, let's say this is number four. Then number five, I want to strike through. Control this, sorry, F. So I want to strike through this. All right, so I've done this. That's now about 5. Okay, now, assuming I want to make this. Okay, I want to get 5 here. I want to get this 1,000. I want to apply these things here. If you are asked to replicate what is here on this particular one, you will need to do the different 5 operations. But for me, I can simply click this, come to my clipboard, click this, my format painter, hit it here. All the things that I have done here are duplicated on this. So I don't need to do this one after the other. All the 5 operations have been duplicated at the same time here by simply clicking this. So this is your clipboard. And on your clipboard, you have the format painter, you have the copy, and you have the paste. Okay, so if I have, let me see, I'm using this now. This is my total. And I'm making this total like this. Let me choose white. And I need to apply this to this. The same thing here, get this and this. Now, if I have other numbers here, let's say 2, 12, 13. I drag this down and I say I want to replicate this to all this. All I need to do is either I double click, I have double clicked. So when you double click that, you do the first one, it is still available. You can see my cursor still has that format painter. I can drop it here. I'll go somewhere else, drop it, go somewhere else, drop it, go somewhere else, drop it. So the moment I am done with this is either I save to deactivate this, I'll press my escape button. So I'm going to press my escape button. You see that this will go off. Escape, it goes off so you can go ahead and do your typing. Like I say, it's either you do that or you click once and then hold and drag down to all the places you want to do it. And the same thing applies. So there are several things we can discuss on cell basic, but even one whole day or 4 hours, for instance, may not be enough to discuss all of them. But as time goes on, I will be applying some of them and be teaching us and telling us this is one of the cell basics. Now, I just want to quickly say some few things on here before we leave this. The cell has the ability to preempt you, to guess what you want to do when you give it a clue. We'll be utilizing a lot of this in the course of this training. For instance, if I have 1 here and I have 2 here, and I tell Excel, see, I am selecting 1 and 2, and I'm going to drag this and down. By selecting this and 2 together, you have given Excel the clue that the next cell downward is going to let it give you a value that is 1, a difference of 1 between them. Just like we have between 1 and 2, the difference is 1. So the interval is 1. So if I hold here and I'm going to duplicate, you see the various numbers are going to be at intervals of 1, 1, 1. The same thing here. If I have 0 here, I have 5, and I select these 2 together, and I'm going down to duplicate, Excel is going to give you numbers that are 5, 5 at intervals. If I have here 10, and I have here 10, and you select the 2 of them, I have here 20, and I select the 2 of them together, subsequent ones are going to be in 10, 10 intervals, 10 unit intervals. That is how these cells behave when you give them a clue. Now, Excel also has the ability to design that something like this, you are talking about Monday. So when you click here and drag it down, it's going to give you the next days in the week. If I do here and I say January, Excel will be able to deduce that the next thing that you are interested in doing is to give the year, the months of the year. So if I come here and I say week 1, for instance, and I'm going to drag this way, it's going to give you week 1, week 2, serially like that. Excel has that intuition to be able to predict what you are planning to do. So these are some of the properties that each cell has that you can really utilize when you are doing your work. Okay, it's the same thing if you write whatever you write here, facility 1, facility, and if you make mistake, it will go with that mistake. Say you are dragging here, you see it continues. If you drag it this way, it continues. Okay, so these are the things you need to explore that will help you to speed up what you are doing to do. Assuming you didn't know this and you needed to plug in all the weeks of the year, week 1 in your work plan, you'll be writing week 1, week 2, be typing them, rather than just writing week 1 and then click and drag either right ways or downward to duplicate what you want to do. All right, so another thing that we can do, I think time may not permit us to discuss every one of them, but it's to, I can hold, assuming I want to copy these 2 numbers. Okay, let's say I'm copying week 2 and 1 and 2. I'm going to hold my control button, and the moment you bring my cursor here, you will see a small positive sign. And then when I click this and drag it out, and I release my button, my mouse, is a duplicate that I've just made. I undo that. So but without holding down my my control button, and I click, hold, and drag it down, and I release, I've moved it. Okay, so these are some of the things that you'll be operating Excel with that will really help you to speed up what you do. Okay, so before we delve into view options, I'll pause here to find out if there are questions, if there are comments before we proceed. So Jennifer, are you here?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
All right, so let's just take the next 5 minutes and then entertain questions.
Okay, so we have another question from Halima. She posted it quite some time ago.
Okay.
She asked, can we have recorded version sent to our mails?
Okay, the
I think
recorded
it's about the
version.
video. Yeah.
Okay, yes, we will do so. And this one, although it's going to take us a while, to share it. The reason is, as we are recording this now, we need to edit it. Then we need to upload it because it is going to be a very huge file that may not pass through email attachment. So we'll do that and upload to YouTube, and then we will share the link. You just view it, and then if you have the app that can download the video, you can download it and have it. However, for the topics that we'll be treating, sometimes we may not be able to record them during the live sessions, but after the live sessions, we will now make videos of each topic and share through the links also. Okay, so yes, we usually will have the videos sent out for people to view.
Okay, so can I add something to that, Samson?
Cool.
For downloading from YouTube, you can actually you don't really need an app for it. It's more like you just modify the name. Like for example, let me just type an example of a video in the chat box.
Okay.
So I decided when I want to download videos from YouTube. So everybody, if you check the chat box, you will see I've typed in www.youtube.com. So if you want to download something from YouTube, all you need to do is type SS in between the YouTube and the www dot. And this I'm going to show you how. So like this. So now it will take you to another link where you can actually download it from there.
Oh.
So if you type in SS, yes, in between the dot and the YouTube, you'll be able to download. And like you can also do it on your phone. So on your phone, it will be in between the M dot and SS YouTube. Type SS in between the M dots. Like I'm going to show right now in the chat box. Yes, so for downloading your phone, it's something like this, the last one. So it's in between the dot and the YouTube. Then you type SS in between. You should be able to download it.
Okay, so Jennifer, this is quite interesting. I never knew about this. So for the last one, you still have that www.m.ss.
No, for the mobile phone, it's a bit different.
Okay,
So you don't really have
it's a bit different.
www.
Okay.
You have the M. I think the M stands for mobile, so that's why
Mobile.
there's in between the dot and YouTube. Yeah, you type SS.
Oh, that's lovely, and then it downloads straight into your device.
Yes. After you take it to another page, then you have to click on it will show you the size. Then you click on the download link, and you can download from there.
Okay, so will this what you have written now contain the other link? You know, YouTube will also always come with this, and then the other site, the file itself.
Should I show? Can I share my screen so that I can show you what I mean exactly?
Okay, do.
Let me open one of your videos.
Bala, we'll call you. We'll see your hand, and Bimbo will also respond to your question, please.
Okay, so can you see my screen, everybody?
Yeah, it has come up.
Okay, fine. So I'm going to when I go to the I'm going to the search box. Sorry, to this box where the website is typed. So now I'm seeing http / and www.youtube. So in between the w dot and YouTube, I type SS, right? Then I press enter. So now it brings me to this page where this is the actual page where I'm supposed to do the downloading from. Then this is the, after this finishes booting, you see where you can actually download it from. So this is now what the video looks like. So you can just click on download here and immediately, we need to be careful because it might take you to another page which is not related to what you want to download. So like right now, I have this extra page opened up, which is taking me to register Bet Niger. So you need to be careful of these things. Don't go and click something that would lead a virus into you. You may end up sign up something that you don't want to sign up for. So this is the video here, and I can just click on download, and I'll have it in my laptop. Yeah.
That's great.
It's downloading now.
And it's already down there, the downloading.
Okay, so I'm stopping my sharing now.
Yeah. This is great. So thank you very much, Jennifer, for this. It has really,
You're welcome.
yes, very, very helpful. Okay, so let's go back to the other questions. Jennifer, over.
Okay, Bala has a question.
Excuse me.
Okay, Bala, you have your hand up. I think you can ask your question.
Hello.
Hello, Bala. It's like your network is a bit challenging, yes? Jennifer, maybe read the question on the chat box while we wait for him to. Bala, can you send your question via chat because you are breaking off? Okay, Jennifer, can you read?
Okay, so for Abimbola has a question. Can you hear me? Okay, Abimbola asks, what did you click on what did you click on that brought up the function box with the strike through?
Okay. Now, there are two ways that I know of, even though there might be more than two ways. The first thing that you can do is you come to this font here, you click this, and then you bring out your font dialog box. So you can now select strike through here. That is what I did. That's one way. But the other thing the one I actually did was to Control Shift F, holding three of them together. Control Shift F. It brings it up. It's a shortcut. Yeah, I hope that is clear. Did it help?
Yes, it is. It's clear.
Right. Okay, thank you.
So I think Bala, maybe, I don't know if Bala is still on. I know he's having
I
network
think
challenges,
network,
trying to
yes.
join for quite some time.
On the beginning, yes.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so since there is no other questions on for now, let's just go ahead and discuss, excuse me, the view options. For these view options, the different things I want to discuss here, one of them, we may not be able to do it as we are using Zoom, but I think there is a video I made on that particular one, which I will share so that we'll look at it. Is when if I make the video or using a different app program, then we'll be able to show that. Now, let me just describe some of the viewing options that we have. Now, I have on my system now, I have only this Excel open. You may have several sheets open and you want to be viewing all of them at the same time. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Okay, I have this right now. Is it possible for me to be viewing this, my outline, and then be viewing something else, like any of these ones here? Like say, I want to be formatting here or here. Okay, let's say I want to talk about this viewing option here. Can I be looking at this tab here and at the same time be looking at this one at the same time? Yes, it's possible. Now, let's start with this last one. Because I have only one sheet open, I need to create another version of this particular sheet. If you look up here, is fundamentals of Microsoft Excel. But I'm going to create another version of it. I'm not going to save as, but I'm simply going to come under my view here. This is my view tab. I click it, it opens. I see this new window here. The moment I click this new window, it's going to create the entire worksheet in a different window. And then I'll have 1 and 2. I click now. You can see up here, this is 1. Sorry, this is 2. Now, let me go back to view here. And then I come to this point here, switch. When I click this switch, see it here, fundamentals of Microsoft Excel 1, fundamentals of Microsoft Excel 2, and 2 is ticked because we are displaying 2. So if I click this one, I open again, 1 is ticked. You see, I'm looking at 1. That means there are 2 of them. Now, I can view these 2 at the same time. But like I said, I may not be able to, what's the name? Zoom may not be able to capture this because I am not showing my screen. What I am showing is a window that is open. Zoom does not have the option of selecting what you want to display. If it had it, I would display my laptop screen so that whatever that is happening on my laptop screen, you will see it. But what you can only see right now, I hope you can see 1 there. Yes, you are seeing 1. Let me switch to 2. You are not even seeing the 2. Yes, I can realize now you are not seeing Microsoft Excel 2. What you see here at the top here is 1. Because I'm also viewing from a different device. So that is the challenge with this particular option that I want to show now. But I'm going to do this and check the video that I have. I will share it so that you will see that, oh, it's possible to be viewing these 2 at the same time. All right, so that is one option. Then another view option, I think I need to close one of these. Let me close the 2 now. then I have only one left now. You can see now that one is off because I've closed the second one. So it's only just the original one that we were working with before. I need to bring something that is quite large. So just give me a minute. Let me get let me just get something. Where is this thing now? What I'm looking for now, I can't even find it. It was right on top of my desktop here, and now okay. So let me just get. Okay, well, I can't find what the file that I'm looking for now, but I'm going to do something now. Let me let me just get something. Okay. Okay, I've found one of them. So let me just move this to, and move it to the end. Okay, at least we can see something right now. So we have this. I'm going to duplicate this now. Let me copy this. And I'm going to drop it here. And all right, so we have this right now. Just give me a second. All right, so I'm back. Now we have this. Sometimes we may encounter this kind of a situation where you have several things contained in the database, and you need to be looking at what is at the down floor here. Say there are some people like this, you really need to be comparing their data. Let me say, I'm going to have this, for instance, and at the very top here, these ones, they have the same, this thing you need to compare, they have the same feature, so you really want to compare them. All right, so what we have now is that at the beginning of this table, we have some people there or some elements that you need to compare. You want to view them side by side. If you see here and you see the one down here, there are different people, but you want to looking at two of them and be comparing them. So what I can do, one of the view option is I can split my screen. I can split it like this so that while this upper side will remain fixed, the lower portion can be scrolling. So what I need to do is I can click at any point here, anywhere, it doesn't really matter. Then you come to your view here. I'm going to split. Now, if I split here, it's going to give me 4 different splits. See, he has split it into 4 quadrants. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So, but this is not what I want at this point in time. So let me remove the split. I just simply want to divide it up and down. So I'll come here and select the entire rule. And then I can now click split. Then it has splitted it into upper and lower portion. Then you will see that this upper portion here has a scroll bar here. See it here? And you will see that it contains the entire worksheet from beginning till the end. See, the last one is 742 rule. And then the very first one is here. The same thing applies to this point here. The very beginning is this, you can see it here. And then the very last one here is this. So with this, I can easily view the beginning and the end of my worksheet. So I can do whatever comparison I want to do. Now note that this and this is the same thing. Whatever you do here, you are doing it here, even though you are doing it from a different window. Say for instance now, I have come to this point, and then after I have done my this, and I said, okay, this person, for these 2 people, I need to cancel them. So, or I need to put them, I'm going to make a mark that will, when the person is reviewing, will understand. So I'm going to hit this my button again and strike them through, and then this happens. Sorry, what exactly did I do there? This wasn't what I wanted to do. What did I do? Sorry. Okay, superscript. Sorry, I didn't want to do superscript. I wanted to strike through. So I am striking through now. So with this now, the next person who is going to review this will say, why did he cancel this? Maybe there is a note somewhere. He will look out for the notes. So having done this, and I've done with reviewing this, so I'm going to remove the split. You will see that this one, if you go down here, it is still there. Let me just take this, go straight down. You see that it's there. So it's the same thing you have done. So this is another way you can speed up what you do. Assuming you need to scan through this. You are scanning through this. Oh, how can I see up and down? This is one way. Now, another way with assuming, especially those of us that are involved in work plan development, and you're always looking at your work plan, you see that this has, maybe this one is even short self. Okay, so assuming I now have to copy this one now. Okay, even at this, now we can work with this. So you want to be seeing this employee here. What is it? Forget about this employee. I don't have enough this thing. I'm not a database that just cuts across to maybe up to Q or even Z column. So assuming you really want to look at this person here, you want to be looking at what this person has in relation to here. You can split. You can come here anywhere, click on a row like this, just like we did, sorry, on a column, just like we did for row, and then go to your view, come to split. The moment you hit split, it has splitted it vertically. So here you have this side, you can scroll like this. You can also scroll like this. By the way, I can increase this and then do this. So these are the ways you can view your things, your database. So with this now, I can scroll to this point and then bring it close by and say, okay, so this is the value for this person, this is value for this person, and so on and so forth. So that's another way that you can get your viewing options. Now, another view option is to, yes, the other one, like the third one, we can't do that, but I'm going to share a video with that. The other one, you can split it into 4, like we say. Personally, I rarely have that occasion where I want to be viewing all the different parts. But you can, if you have a very large database, all you need to do is to split like this. And then, because every one of them has here, this is controlling the right side of my screen. This is controlling the left side. So if it is here, I want it to be, or I want it to come onto this point, and I remain here, then I can now begin to go up and down using the top and down scrolling point. So this will also help you. Let me remove the split. Another common one that we know is, you see, for instance, now, I want to see what is happening here. Maybe this is an organization. Okay, let me just make this. So here is, let's say this is organization 1. So let me, I'm going to merge this now, merge it, and let me say I'm going to do this, and then applying what we just learned a while ago, I'm going to copy this from my clipboard. I'm doing this. You see that he has merged this already for me. I don't need to go and look for what. All I need to do is to get, or you type whatever you want to type here. When you do that, it's only formatting. The name is Format Painter. See it? The Format Painter. You are formatting, not bringing all the contents. The contents will not go with it. The content here will not go. You will type it, but the format that you apply here will apply here. So here for me now, this is from organization 2. So assuming you want to compare who is here. This is an employee for organization 1. What is the same thing for organization 2? So assuming this is big like this and you're not seeing the two of them together. So the other viewing option that you can use is to come under view here and you freeze your panes. You freeze your panes. Now there are 3 options of freezing your panes, like here. You can see here the highlighted portions are the columns and the rows. here is the column, here is the, here is the row, here is the column. Now, I'm going to take this one after the other. Assuming I want to see this organization and at the same time see here, so that everything under this header, this is my major header, let all of them go under it, beneath it. Then, if that is all that I want to do, I need to take this at this point. I need to take it at this point, irrespective of wherever I click now. See, I'm clicking somewhere here, but because I'm only interested in freezing the row, I simply come here and I freeze this one, the top row. So when I am scrolling, everything is under it. Everything goes under it. It does not affect the columns. It only affects the row. Now, let me unfreeze. Now, if you want to do that, and you say, okay, you don't want this organization to show, but you want only this to show, see what's going to happen. You won't get that same thing if you use this. It's only organization that will show. The reason is that the row that is next to this bar, to these letters, that is the one that is going to freeze. So if I unfreeze and I come here and I decide to go straight, so remember, let's say I click somewhere here, my cursor is here, and I go here to freeze my pane, and I'm choosing this top. It is this one that is closed here now. This is 46. That is the one that is freezing, not any other one. If I scroll, you will see that that is what is there. So you need to understand what you want to freeze and know where to position your sheet before you click the freeze pane. So I have unfrozen now. Now, the same thing applies to the column. Whatever that is here on this first column here, just before this bars here, is what is going to be frozen. So if I say, if my distance is in building, because right now we have building department, sorry, the department column, and I want to come and freeze, and I'm choosing this column only, the first column. When I click this, it is the one that is next to here that is going to freeze. See, that is the one that is frozen. Sometimes people may say, I want this point to freeze. And they go ahead, probably they have selected this, and they come here and they say freeze. And they expect that point that they have selected, like H, to freeze. They will discover it is not freezing. What the Excel is looking at is the one that is next to this point here. All right, so that is how that works. Let me unfreeze. Now, finally, let us talk about this last one, the header, and then the row and the column. Now, that is the one that actually considers where your cursor is. If my cursor is here right now, at this point, where we have the status displayed, where we have the department displayed, and you go ahead to click your first one, which is both column and the row. Once I click this, this is at this point, this is where the freezing is going to be applied. See, if I shift this way, because it is at this point, it is frozen. If I also, let me hide this floating panel. If I also scroll upward, you see that at this point, they are all frozen. Now, if I unfreeze, and I decide that I want to come this point, see this point at H10. If my cursor is here, and I go to freeze, and I choose this row and column, once I freeze it, this is where it's going to apply, which means all these parts will be revealed, and then all these parts will be revealed. All these parts will be revealed. So this is how it is done. If I scroll up, you see this is where it is. If I scroll left, this is where it is. So these are the different viewing options that we have that you can apply to make your work faster. All right, so at this point, let me see the end. The last one we are looking at is, okay, page layout and work basic. Because of the time we have, we may not be able to do that. So in the next class, we'll discuss page layout and then worksheet basics. So at this point, I would like to entertain questions and then comments. Jennifer, over.
Okay. Okay, so the first question I'm seeing is from Abim Bola. So she asks, could you please take that again? So Abim Bola, please, what exactly are you referring to?
It was about viewing both like two sheets, but I think I got it as he went on. So I think I'm fine. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay. But my next comment is from Bala. It's very unfortunate for me. I couldn't get the second part of the class. Okay, Samson, I'd like to respond to him. He is having network challenges, so logging in and logging out.
Okay.
He's online right now. I see he's even out.
He's out again. Okay, I guess it's network. Okay, I think the videos will really help him. The videos will really help him. So I will speak with him personally and see what we can do. I will consider what he has and see what we can do to assist him.
Okay.
The other, was there a question prior to this one? I didn't get that.
I don't think so. I don't think so, no. The question before that was Abimbola's question, but I think you already answered her.
Okay.
Bala is coming on out again.
Everyone.
So Bala has joined.
Okay. He actually has a very bad connection. I think we'll see what we can do. So there are no other questions, right?
No other questions.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. I think I'll be off right now because my battery is low. So let's go ahead. Wherever it takes me. Is it Bala that is speaking?
Yes, it's Bala. Very unfortunately for me today, I couldn't be able to get the last part of the lecture. Completely, I was off. Hello? Hello?
We can hear you, Bala.
So I said that I can only rely on the video that will be posted later because I didn't get the second part of the lecture. I have been network has been troubling me. I couldn't be able to get it.
Yes, I said I will speak with you later and see what we can do to assist you.
Okay, I will be glad. Honestly speaking, I started really enjoying the class, following along, seeing new things that I have never known how to do them.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah, well.
Hello, so friends, I think I'll see you. Okay, one more thing I wanted to quickly ask. We have a class in, what's it called? Telegram. We were using Telegram to discuss, but it looks like so many people prefer WhatsApp. So for our data visualization, we have on WhatsApp. So I want to find out from us, will you prefer WhatsApp or Telegram is better?
No, I think we prefer WhatsApp. WhatsApp is so much common. But I follow you also in Telegram. Anyone, as far as I'm concerned, anyone is okay for me.
Okay. Okay, what about others?
Anyone can go. Whether Telegram or WhatsApp.
Okay. You know, my focus is getting more people. So Telegram does not have that limit. We can get up to 1,000, 10,000 or so. But for WhatsApp, 257 or so is filled up. Even though we are still small now, but when we are going to where I have in mind, WhatsApp will not be very accommodating. That's just why.
Okay, then let's go with Telegram.
Telegram.
Okay. So I will add you people. I will add you people to the Telegram because Telegram is only those who have participated in the course that will join.
Okay,
So I'll add you all to the Telegram if you have Telegram. If you don't have, I will contact you to get your Telegram number.
Yes. Okay. As far as I have concerned, I have the Telegram.
It's okay. So everyone, thank you so much. Jenny,
Okay.
I'll call you later from here so that we'll discuss more.
Okay, sure, no problem.
All right.
Oh,
Everyone,
thank
have a
you.
great day.
Thank you, Mr. Sampson. Same here.
Thank you. All
Yeah,
right.
bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.